We are live.
I'm hot.
In true fashion, I have to grab a drink.
Can you grab me like a cup of...
Ice?
No. Because I have one thing. I have like white grape juice in there.
Do you want ice?
No, because it's cold. Gracias.
De nada.
See, you're learning.
What?
Our poor Spanish. Twitter. Hi everyone. Has everyone made their Facebook avatar? I have.
See your avatar.
I don't know if it tweeted. How do I know if it tweeted?
It'll say,
Yeah, but I already exited out of it.
okay.
So how do I go to you?
There we go.
That's not right. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to
Hello.
Twitter. I'm
Hello.
sorry. Hello.
What's going on, everybody? What's happening? Hello. Ooh, it is hot today. Hot, hot, hot. Yes, pardon me. So Lisa's sharing everything, and we will be discussing in much further detail of what Universal CityWalk was all about. And then, of course,
Is that water even cold? I just put
no,
it in
it's
after
fine.
warm.
I will drink whatever. It's one of those days. Yeah, the record haul was pretty nice. Lisa got a little, I wouldn't say angry about it. She just doesn't, she doesn't appreciate a good, going out and finding records and spending time in the record shops and pulling out each vinyl and finding out what type of pressing it is and where it comes from and whatnot,
And why you have to spend $30 for one?
Yeah, she doesn't understand, like, one album cost me like $30 today. And I'm like, well, it's a rare UK 1979 first pressing. Hello.
Hello.
Cody, what's going on, bud? What's happening?
That was great because right when you went, hello, is when they put, hi guys.
Well, that worked out perfectly then. I like when my life works out that way.
You're white.
Yeah, my white. I'm just saying. All right, so we're here to talk about in much further detail. So this also open-ended discussion. You guys can ask questions of things you may not have seen in the video and were curious about when we went to Universal CityWalk, and or things that you've seen but you still may have questions about. We can obviously tell you what we have seen,
And we bought
what's going
face
on.
masks
Yeah, we
today. We ordered them.
ordered them off of Etsy.
Etsy because, well, Tony's like, you already have one. My face is small. And I don't know if you could tell in the video, but like it kept sliding down. I
Yeah.
needed something that would hold it.
Exactly. So we got there. Universal CityWalk opens from 4 to 10. Now, people were asking what the charge was to park at CityWalk. There is no fees,
No.
nothing. So it is
Probably
free
because-
parking.
According to the Universal app, there's like 6 things open in CityWalk.
A couple more things did open up after we went. Like the following day, Twosome opened up. Just a couple of other things that didn't open up on the 20th.
Hola.
What's happening at HF Sales? So it's free parking. It's from 4 to 10. It's open every day. Not everything is 100% open. Good amount was open though
No, it's like,
of restaurants. Well,
No.
more than I thought was going to be open.
but it's definitely not, I wouldn't say a good amount. Good amount makes you think like, oh, like there's a lot of food places open. There wasn't.
Well, CityWalk, you have to remember too, is a lot smaller.
It is.
It's like a third.
But like the whole top layer, whatever floor, if you want to call it that,
There's maybe like 3 that were open.
it's like 1.
Yeah, it was like 3.
And taquitos.
And then I think there was another
Oh,
one.
and like a fast food joint.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then on the bottom level is Voodoo,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't really call a place to eat because you just
No.
go buy your donuts. Starbucks. Buka was or not Buka. We just went to Buka. Bubba Gump.
Uh-huh. And
that red oven pizza.
Cowfish wasn't open, but it is open now.
Margaritaville was open.
Yep. And a couple little odds and ends, bars, things like that. What were security measures taken?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So we got to park, well, we got there before they opened. So we got to park on the 3rd level of the garage, which is the level where you go through security. So pretty much right after the moving walkways, before you get to the typical security, they have, the markers on the ground that are 6 feet apart that your party stands on. And then there's security people right there that will do the temperature scan. And I didn't see anyone get turned away, but it's not like I stood there and watched either. And then after you passed your temperature, then you walk down to the typical security and then from there on it was just typical security,
Yeah.
Put your bag through the scanner, walk through the metal detector. However, they started this new thing that you have to take off your belt.
Yeah.
I don't remember you having to do that when we were.
And of course, I had a studded belt on.
And he couldn't get it
I
off.
couldn't
So
get it
finally
off
they
right
were
away.
like, we know it's that. And they let him go.
Yeah.
And then the rest, that was it. It's just the only thing different was the temperature scan. And then obviously they had people on the microphone that would talk every once in a while, that would come through the speakers around CityWalk, that would just remind people that you have to have a face mask. They made it very clear though, you do not have to wear the face mask while eating, because I know I don't understand the lack of common sense when people were freaking out about these face masks. How do they expect people to eat with face masks on? You take it off. That just blew my mind that people were freaking out about trying to figure out how to eat with their face mask on. You have to wear it while you're walking around. You have to wear it when you're exiting the restaurant. But once you are seated, you can take it off.
Yeah, and then
they expect you to eat normally.
Yeah, and then when you're done, obviously you go back to your face mask.
Oh, Flo said Catfish and Starbucks was still closed yesterday. That's weird because Starbucks was open the day we went.
Starbucks was definitely open when we went. Yeah, because we were going to get a coffee.
But we had already gotten one.
When do you put your mask on when you arrive? Okay, so
you pretty much have to put it
as
on
soon as
before
you
you get to the temperature security people.
So pretty much right when you get out of your car and you start walking down to that second floor.
No, it's third.
Third
it's
floor.
The third level.
Third level, yeah.
We didn't have to go up or down a level.
Third level. Then just put it on right away because as soon as you walk to the moving escalators, there is the line. The 6-foot rolling sticker
and
pads.
And everyone pretty much came out of their car with their face mask on.
Yeah.
And again, we got there early, so we had to actually stand in a line. When we left, there was no line. It was just people were maybe 5 or 6 people that you had to wait for a security guard to open
I would
up
say you must put it on as soon as you. I would say as soon as you pretty much see, the security check-in line. I would just put it on. Lisa had hers on right away. I put mine on right kind of after.
Flo said we had Cass telling people to put masks on as they got out of their cars without them. Oh.
Okay.
So that was a little different. We also.
Yeah, there was on opening day. There was no cast that was, but a lot of people were putting it on. I put mine in the parking garage. I just not right away because I was talking in the camera.
I pretty much put mine on right as I was getting my stuff to get out of the car.
Yeah.
The nice time though was when we went, it wasn't too hot and it was breezy. It's pretty hot out right now, so I don't know how it would feel right now walking around with it.
Yeah, because it wasn't terrible.
No, we had a nice breeze going on, so it wasn't bad at all.
So if you watch the video, our first stop was in Bubba Gump because Lisa got very excited about merchandise that keeps selling out when we want to buy it, so we finally bought it. But while she was paying or figuring out the computer, because our computer systems were kind of messed up.
Well, yeah,
understandable.
What I was buying was a special sale going on, but for whatever reason, their register didn't bring up the special sale. So when we got a cookbook set. So it came with a cookbook, a seasoning, and a hot sauce. And typically when their sale was going on, if you scan that, it would bring up the price of the set, but instead it was just bringing up the cookbook. I ended up getting it for cheaper because even the manager was getting frustrated. He scanned the cookbook and then he rang up, I think the seasoning, and it was still like $2 or $3 short of what like the set was supposed to be. And he's like, screw it. I'm just going to give it to you for that price. I was like, thank you.
But while Lisa was figuring that out and the manager walked away, I kind of had like a little side conversation with the manager. One about the menus and how they downsized the menu itself, and he gave me a paper menu, so it's a throwaway, so you don't have to return them. It's yours.
Yeah, and even though we didn't eat there, like they made sure to tell us, like, that's yours.
Yeah, that's yours.
Like, you can throw it out, but that's yours. Do not give it back.
So then I was wondering about the seating, so I did like a look, because we didn't eat there, so I did a little peek through into the restaurant. I was there for maybe like a couple seconds, just to kind of like see. So pretty much the tables are still stacked the way that they are in the restaurants, you know how they were. But it's like every other table, there's a sign on it that says, do not sit here. So that's how they're spacing those people apart.
And I don't know about your bathroom, but like one of the first things I had to do when I got to City, I had to use the bathroom. And at least in the women's bathroom, now all the stalls were available, but the sinks, they had signs that said like, please do not use this sink.
Yes,
and
it was like every other
sink to help with social distancing, but the stalls didn't have that.
Yeah, and I noticed too in the bathroom for the guys that they ripped down the paper towel dispensary, so it's just the air blow dryers. I guess for people's hands, like grabbing everything and whatnot, they just wanted to do as much touchless as possible.
Yeah, I guess my thing is I wouldn't mind the paper towels if it was the automatic ones.
Yeah. The automatic ones would have worked, just wave your hand and then just out it came. That would have been good too as well. Somebody asked how long we were there.
Maybe like 30 to 45 minutes.
No, we were there for like an hour.
Okay, an hour.
Maybe even longer, actually.
Well, we got talking.
Because we were talking to a lot of people. So we were there for about an hour. And it was nice just for the fact of getting out of the house. And then we ran into some people we haven't seen in a very long while, such as Prince Charming Deb. We got to talk to him for a little while. Jackie from Super Enthused.
And Nate from
AG Mr. Morrow.
We kept running into him.
Yeah,
I feel like we ended up following and Jackie around CityWalk. Like, we'd say bye, and then like 10 minutes later, we'd be in another section. I'd look over, and they were there too. So.
It was like we were all playing like a game of cat and mouse or something like that. So it was really nice. It was definitely weird. Because, running into people, friends, whatever, and you don't see their face fully, it's a mask, and the fact that you're not getting as close, because even us, we were all like, we got close, but we were keeping our distances from each other.
We ran into Prince Charming Deb,
and we were all
right
doing
outside of like the Hard Rock, so he was like, you know how you can like walk down the stairs to get close to the lagoon, so he was down the stairs, and we were at the top of the stairs, with like the flower bed in between us, and then when Nate and Jackie walked around, they kind of went off to the side over here.
Yeah, but so that was all of us being very well with the social distancing, and that was going, I'm just using us as an example, but as we were going around with people we didn't even know, everybody was being very good with, keeping from each other.
Yeah, I mean, as best as they
guess.
can. Obviously, when we were in like the Universal store, it's a little harder to social distance in certain areas, but everyone was like, you could tell they were trying. So if there was something they wanted to look at and someone was there, instead of like walking up and just saying, excuse me, they just kind of hung back till that other group then moved out of the way. I did feel bad when we were in the Universal store and Jackie noticed us and she was waving, but because everyone has a face mask, Nate was very obvious who he was. So like, I didn't have any problem recognizing him. But I'm seeing this girl like waving at us and like getting our, I must have given her the weirdest look ever with just my eyes because she couldn't see my face either. And I was like, who is that?
Oh, I knew everybody right away.
And then Tony was like, oh, hey, Jackie. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, so it was just kind of weird, like not even like shaking hands with people. So it was either we were fist bumping, we elbows, or we did the like
air high fives.
Air high fives.
Like, hey.
So that's something like to get used to.
I noticed this is outside of CityWalk, but since we couldn't really do too much for our anniversary, we bought ourselves a bed. And even like the guy at Ashley Furniture, when we were all done, like, you know how like most people, most places before all this, like after someone sold you something, like they'd shake your hand, and we did the fist pump.
Yeah. Just thank you.
It was nice talking to you.
So it's definitely weird times. However, like we said, during that day, because it wasn't as hot, it was okay. Now, going into further months, so July, August, well, that's going to be a different story. All of us are going to have that to get used to. I know people are going about, well, they do it in Shanghai, but they do it a lot. You know what I mean? That's like almost typical. So it's different cultures between them and us. And it's something we have to get used to, but you change, you adapt, you evolve.
I feel like
if I have to breathe a little bit, I'll pull it down, breathe a little bit,
Yeah.
goes right back on and mosey on about my day. But definitely going to be something to get
Terry
used to.
said, how about payment? Team members wearing gloves. There is no cash.
Yeah, it was a cashless system.
No cash. And I read that that's exactly how Disney Springs is going to be. There is no cash.
Yes, so
Everything
card
is
or
card, and you are
mobile order.
doing you have your own card reader. You're not giving your card to them.
Yeah.
Everyone has to wear a mask though. All the team members are wearing masks. Even like they had what you saw in the video, there were those two people in the stilts. They even had masks on.
Yes.
So, and even though they're like towering above all of us, everyone has masks on. I don't remember really seeing any team members with gloves. No, we didn't go into any of like the food places. So, but like even when we were at the Universal store or even in the Bubba Gump gift shop, I don't remember them wearing gloves.
No, in Bubba Gump's actual restaurant, I saw some servers wearing gloves.
But yeah,
because they're handling food.
Yeah. But we weren't in any of the food places. They definitely have plenty of hand sanitizer stations throughout CityWalk.
Team members were also sanitizing everything.
Oh yeah.
So, like for instance, I saw a vlogger there, and actually outside of Bubba Gump, and he sat down, where you could put your feet inside.
Oh yeah, and after he got up, they came down and they wiped
everything down. So team members were very good.
Yeah, even the moving walkways, they had someone that was wiping down the railing.
Constantly.
Everyone is cleaning everything.
Mm-hmm.
The hand sanitizer stations are also touchless, so it's just the automatic, you put your hand under and the sanitizer falls out. So there's no pumps,
Now, in the Universal store, you can get a $3, it's actually a decent size, I'd probably say something like that, of hand sanitizer. It's kind of like a clip-on, put it on your bag, put it on your pants, loops, whatever, for $3. They were also selling masks for $6.
Or 3 for $15.
Or 3 for $15. Now, they didn't have any
they
specialty
weren't
like Universal
ones. It was just a hot pink camo.
No, it was a hot pink one and a camo one.
Oh, a hot pink and a camo.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's...
Eventually, I'm sure we will see, Minion face masks and Jaws face masks and Harry Potter themed ones, I'm sure. You will see. That will happen.
Someone asked if we're going to be going to Disney Springs next week. So Tony actually managed to have off without asking. On May 20th. So he's definitely going to go.
So I will be there. I will be there.
For me, it's probably just going to depend on what time I get done work, if it's worthwhile for me to go later that night, because I'll still have to get up on Thursday for work. But if not, we're off next weekend. So I definitely want to go and check out Disney Springs. So
Yes. We will be going to Disney Springs. I will be definitely 100% going on Wednesday. And now they talk about reduced hours. However, they did not give any information yet.
Which is weird.
I read the email many times just to make sure I didn't see any
even
times.
on their website, there's no times, which is interesting because right when Universal announced that they were reopening CityWalk, they made it very clear.
4 to 10.
4 to 10 are the hours, and we don't know what the hours are going to be.
I don't know what the hours are going to be.
In which case, Tony may end up not going without me if it is only going to be like a 4 to 10 type of thing, because he could just wait for me to get home at that point.
Now, I'm figuring...
I don't know. We don't know what time
I'm figuring maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday. It's the beginning of the week. Monday, they open up in 2 days. We should know a time. However, we do know the parking situations. Not everything parking that you know it will
Someone
be
just
available.
commented and said you were right again. Lime and orange parking lots only.
That's right. Of course I was right again. Tony
Yeah.
is good.
And
Tony is wise.
I did read that the entry points are obviously those two garages. The ride-sharing drop-off is going to be considered an entrance.
And the hotel where the bridge to cross over.
The bridge crossing over, that's an entrance.
That's
Those are
it.
the
So
only
only 4.
Grapefruit Garage, closed. Surface parking is closed.
Yes. I'm sure security will be there, orange cones, something like that, so they know that you cannot park in there. So it is going to be a first come, first serve.
Where do you think the security will be at Disney Springs? Do you think it'll be...
For what, the head checks?
Yeah.
Right when you probably walk in, when you pass normally the 2 security guards that always say Disney Springs this
That
way
they're gonna
or
be
something,
too.
it'll be right there. I think that's a perfect spot.
Yeah.
And it puts you right off to the side, right, right before you go there. You can line everybody up just along that wall, in that 6 feet. Do your head check and walk down your stairs or take the escalator, stairs, and or elevators. I think that would be the best place. And you have to have a temperature under 100.4. Now, I did read if you strike a temperature more than 100.4, they send you to a different location. They did not mention what that location was, but a second location for a secondary temperature. And if you peek over, you are
I'm assuming
kind of asked to leave.
I'm assuming that the secondary temperature check would be a regular oral thermometer. I would assume.
But I don't know. They didn't go over that fine detail. That's something that we will know a little bit later on. Yes. So, with the times, I was talking to Lisa about this for Disney Springs. I could see them doing a late opening because it's pretty much just third-party Disney, third-party, I should say, restaurants, shops. That will be open.
They're definitely not going to be open till 2 a.m.
However, they did give more of a list of confirmed restaurants that will be open, which was a lot more than I thought, as we previously seen.
Because even though they said that third-party businesses could open, it was still up to that business as to whether or not. So, there were only really a few confirmed.
Like 5.
Yeah, when they first announced they were opening, and now that list has definitely grown.
It grown. So, Boathouse is on there now because it wasn't originally. STK was always on there. They confirmed some other places. But I was really excited that Boathouse was on there because I love that restaurant.
Yeah, but now we rebooked our missed anniversary dinner at Cape May, so...
Yes, so... We'll be at Cape May.
Necessarily be eating at Boathouse anytime soon.
Yeah, no, because we had to. We were supposed to be at Coronado Springs yesterday for our wedding anniversary and going to Cape May, but obviously Corona, stupid world,
canceled all of our plans.
Canceled all our plans, so we had to rebook some of our plans.
That's okay.
And that's okay. So with that, I still think because not still as much is going to be open, I can see Disney doing a later 4 o'clock, to maybe 11, 4 to 12 even, because they are bigger than Universal CityWalk. So maybe I could see 4 to 12.
But definitely not till 2 a.m.
No. Now, when the 27th hits, because that's when the Disney operations will begin to reopen at Disney Springs, such as World of Disney, the Co-op store, and a couple other Disney-owned restaurants. I would imagine I could see them opening from 12 to 12 or something. I don't know. I'm taking guesses here. I don't know.
I want to answer Terry's question.
Yes, go ahead.
He said, do you think Disney Springs waited to see what Universal did or to open more than Universal did? No.
No.
And this is why I say this. Disney was the first to announce when they would be opening. What we think happened is Universal wanted to open before Disney. So it was that competition. So Disney announced, hey, on May 20th, we're going to open. Because they gave us a couple weeks notice. Universal, we found out that week, hey, we're going to open on the 14th.
Yeah. So I would imagine this is how me, Prince Charming, Dev, we kind of talked about this. I shouldn't name drop, but whatever. A couple of people, we talked about this and said, let's say hypothetically Disney says July 1st the parks are going to be open. We imagine mid-June Universal parks will be open. It's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, we think Universal will wait to announce when they're opening until after Disney announces, but we have a feeling that whatever Disney announces, Universal's going to try to open up sooner. It's the competition.
Yeah, so I pretty much guarantee If it's July for Disney, it's mid-June for Universal.
Yeah.
That's my honest
But
opinion.
I will say this:
Could be wrong.
Universal did a great
Oh my God.
job with CityWalk. Everything.
Team
was,
members were great. Managers
Yeah.
were great.
Everything was calm. You know.
No problems.
No problems. Yeah. No
Even in the
drama.
stores, they were doing. I talked about it on the video. They were doing a kind of like
A clicker.
they had like a cell phone counter. I don't know if it was an app on their phone or if it was a universal actually, thing for them, for the team members. But like as we were walking out,
or as people were walking in, they were clicking.
They were clicking, and then we walk out, click for that 25%. So I don't know what the max capacity is for that Universal store that's in CityWalk. I don't know because that was just a 25%, but that's how they were doing that.
According to the Polite Pigs Instagram, this is from Kind of Flow, they will be opening 11 a.m. on Wednesday.
Okay. Interesting.
So that means that
maybe
Disney Springs
10?
will have to be open at least by 11?
At least by 11. That's interesting. Or maybe even 10 o'clock. I don't know. Maybe to go right in. I don't know. That's interesting.
But it's interesting still, though, that Disney Springs hasn't announced it. It's the company's website that's saying we're opening at 11.
Yeah, I still imagine come tomorrow, everybody should get an email or see it on social media somewhere. If somebody's sharing this, we should get a time of actually when Disney Springs is open, and more importantly, when they're gonna close. Like I said, I could see.
What are your hours of operation?
I could see 10 o'clock. 10, 11. I don't know. It depends.
I don't really see them staying open that late right now.
Maybe the 27th, I could see them staying open later, because
I would say
more will
till
be
10,
open.
only for the fact that their night life is still not going to be happening.
It is slowly will be happening.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen right away. They're not going to have their bars. I don't think they're going to have any of their outdoor music stuff going on. That's what was going on.
I think the outside bars will happen because it did at Universal CityWalk.
How many outdoor bars really are there other than the little rolling carts?
No, some of those ones that are right by the lagoon are outside ones. They were open. Margaritaville, they had their outside open. I was surprised they had a performer though.
I don't really consider Disney Springs what you're calling outside bars. They're like little carts to buy alcohol. You don't sit there.
Yeah, but some of those places, by the Co-op store where they sell those gelatos, or the Joffrey's place, there's plenty of those outside bars where all the entertainment used to be right by the stage that you could sit. They weren't
those.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
You were thinking carts. I'm talking about actual.
No, where you were talking about, I was thinking over by the hot air balloon where they had.
No, I wasn't.
That nighttime.
Oh, I don't think those carts will be open. I don't think those. I know.
The one food truck's gonna be open.
Yeah, one or two of the food trucks will be.
Are the bars still closed until phase 2?
Yes.
Technically, yes. But I think the way these theme parks are getting away with it is because they can.
No, because DeSantis is giving them the option.
Yeah, our governor pretty much said that he's willing for theme parks to reopen as long as they give him pretty much a planned opening. So I think as long as they said, hey, we plan on allowing these places.
Pretty much what's happening right now, DeSantis said in an interview I read as well, all theme parks, Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, whatever, blah, blah.
Theme parks.
All the theme parks, they have to send in their letter of.
Isn't that what I just said?
Yes, and then that's going to happen is they are going to go over it, and they have to wait for the okay. The provisions are good.
Duh.
I'm just saying. So that's how it's going to happen. So pretty much our governor is already talking about phase 2. So phase 2 will be that 50%. And that's when, outside of Disney, that's when we will most likely see movie theaters open up, gyms. Gyms already started. They've already started. Yeah, they're starting tomorrow. Bars will be 50%. Although I still don't know how a bar is going to work at 50%.
Well, so what I'm reading.
Like an actual bar. Yeah, not a Disney bar, a bar.
What I'm reading from these articles with the different. I've been reading a lot about Florida's reopening and all the articles being listed. So a lot of the articles have done a good job about going in depth about what to expect with each opening. And one of the things I read about the bars is when phase 2 occurs, bars will be allowed to reopen at 50%, but the emphasis is going to be on the amount of standing room.
Yes.
So it seems like as far as bars themselves go, they're going to be more concerned about, I feel like, everyone being able to have a seat and not so much you can't just have people standing.
Yeah.
The gyms were not supposed to open till phase 2, but they are allowing gyms to reopen starting tomorrow, as long as they can still practice the social distancing. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Terry asked, did they say when they might make a decision for phase 2? No, they didn't give a date.
There
Our
are
governor
no dates.
no dates right now. Our governor did not give a date. He's pretty much just saying, he's talking about phase 2, and for those businesses to say, hey, get your paperwork in now so we can go over this and make sure everything is clear so you have time for that phase 2. There's no
Pretty
date
much
though.
when Florida reopened, the governor said that he did not want the phased reopening to take months. He was thinking weeks.
Yes.
And it's kind of been like that. So like when phase 1 first started, it was only like a week or two ago, and now he's already talking about phase 2. So he's really trying to get the state open back up.
So I say phase 2, June 1st week. I would maybe say.
Penn to Flo said Vice President Pence is apparently coming to Orlando tomorrow to meet with theme park officials about opening.
Okay, which would make sense. So that will go with that paperwork, talk with everything, how they're going to implement. I'm sure they'll
I don't
give.
have to talk to the vice president.
I don't
Every
know.
state has been doing their own thing anyway.
Exactly.
I guess maybe because we're opening up fast.
Probably.
While other states are still. My family's not too happy.
Well,
right now.
actually, too, which would make sense to have vice president or anybody bigger in command those things. Take a look around because we are the #1 tourist destination.
Yeah.
In Florida here, so they're probably going to look around and they're going to probably show them around the parks, do a walking tour,
Well,
and
those
say, this is what we're doing here.
Those helicopters we saw while we were at CityWalk were not media. It was actually not necessarily the CDC, but it was some health organization that they were trying to take an aerial view to see how things were being handled. And they were also taking aerial views of the parks to see what their plan is for trying to keep people. I read that in an article after we went.
I first did say that it was probably that, but then I changed my mind. I was like, no, I can't say that. That has to be a media.
Yeah, but then I read an article like the day later.
That it was. Okay,
that
so I
it
was right the
that
first time.
stuff. They were getting an aerial view shot. Obviously, CityWalk was the only thing open, but I guess theme parks have already started putting in place like markers on the ground inside their parks. And
so this is the time that I'm sure like the governor will be, Disney and Universal will be inviting the governor down, probably when Pence is down too, to walk the parks. This is what we're doing, looking for those markers, at those restaurants, looking at those queue lines, maybe the rides itself,
Yeah.
Hell, they might even go on Pirates of the Caribbean and be like, how are you going to seat these people? Which I think the seating will go every other row for Pirates of the Caribbean. 6 rows, right? So 6 rows
know.
in Pirates? And so then 3.
And I think too, with
That's what I think.
any of these theme parks, I think all single rider stuff will go away. Because I think they're going to keep parties to themselves. So I don't think they're going to mix parties. So I think like, if you have a party of 3, one of your people is just going to be sitting alone.
Yeah.
I don't foresee them mixing parties or like rides like the Hulk where they can fit 4 in a row. I don't think it's going to be 2 groups of 2. If you're a group of 4, I think they'll let you sit all in one row. But if you're a group of 2, I don't think they're going to put any other party with you. I feel like that's also how they're going to separate.
Same thing with the gondolas, when they open up, if you got a party of 3, you can fit 8 in those things. You'll get your own gondola. So yeah, I think even with Pirates of the Caribbean, just going on that ride system, the long booth, we'll call it that because pretty much what it is. If you're a party of 3, even though they could fit technically 5, 6, depending on size, things like that. It'll just be 3, and then that'll be it.
I feel like though,
So it'll just be
on
your party
Pirates of
size.
the Caribbean, we've rarely ever been matched with another party.
I have sometimes.
Except on like a really busy day, but I would say the majority of the times we've gone on that ride, they were usually splitting Like, we weren't being seated with parties, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's all getting pretty exciting. So we'll just have to see. Now, a couple people did ask me as well. With the May 27th thing, with Disney stores opening up, such as World of Disney and the Disney Co-op store, which I love the Co-op store. Love that
The
store.
co-op store.
I really do love the Co-op store, more than World of Disney. That's just my opinion. Anyways, they were saying, hey, does this mean the Disney Character Warehouse? Well, it possibly could mean the Disney Character Warehouse, since those official Disney stores are opening up. It could be the warehouse. Maybe, I don't know.
It was weird when we were driving to Universal for the CityWalk reopening. When we passed by the outlets, I mean, the parking lot was like, there was still a decent amount of cars there, but for that time of day, that's typically when like you struggle to find parking, and it was still plenty of parking spots available, so.
I don't really know. I mean, it is a Disney store. I could maybe see that opening up. I don't know 100% for sure. Although it will be interesting when I go down when May 27th opens up, what World of Disney will be selling. Will they be selling new merchandise or the stuff that they left over with to try to get it out? It'll kind of give you an idea of what will be probably at the Character Warehouse.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, what new merch are they going to be selling?
No, they did push some new merchandise that we've seen online, things like that, like new Spirit jerseys, those things. I don't know. They're probably sitting on a lot of stuff, so maybe half the inventory might go to the warehouse. I don't really know, to be honest with you.
They could potentially still be selling Flower Garden merch, because the Flower Garden Festival was still supposed to be going on at this point.
Yeah. When is Flower Garden technically supposed to end, technically?
The end of May.
The end of May. Yeah. So
even though you can't go to the Flower Garden Festival, they may
possible.
still be selling it.
It's anything is possible. I expect a clearance section on older stuff at World of Disney. That's possible.
Yeah, because the fact that
anything's possible. I don't know.
The fact that they've been closed for this long, I mean, I highly doubt they're going to ship everything over to the warehouses to sell right away.
No.
So I could potentially see clearance sections in those stores.
It's possible. Or they could do what CityWalk did. Weren't they doing, like, for your pass holders or something, like if you were a pass holder, they were giving you, instead of like the 10% off, you were doing like 25% off or something? They were saying something over a loudspeaker.
Well, it depended on your pass. So we have the preferred pass for Universal. But like certain food, certain gift shops, like we were gonna get a 20% discount.
Instead of the 10.
Instead of 10. I think the Premier was getting 25, and then whatever the one is called below us was like getting 15% instead of their typical.
So I could see Disney Springs, especially World of Disney or something like that, maybe almost doing the same thing, do your discount to help move some of that merchandise that they're sitting on, which would be a smart idea. Go by the level of your pass holder, I can see that 25% being your highest,
We'll see.
15, 20, and 25. I don't know, something like that. That would be an idea. I could see that happening. What's that? Going over?
No.
Oh, wow, I have top passes for both. Oh, that's awesome. Like I said, that's what they're doing at Universal City Walk right now. I don't know how long that's going for. Maybe that's going on until the parks reopen. I'm not sure.
Joffrey's is going to be open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay.
So that's probably the
marker, 10 to 10.
And Wine Bar George is 12 p.m.
Okay, so 10 o'clock. 10 to 10, I'd probably say. Probably say 10 a.m. So I would expect lines to be there by maybe even 8:30, 8 o'clock. I don't know, to get in. Because there was lines. I tried to show it off as best as I could and went to City Walk, but we got there an hour early. I just thought I-4 was going to be a little more, not hectic, but just a little busier, since it was a work week and it was during almost primetime drive. But we got there really quick, so we got there, an hour before it opened, and I was like, oh, what do we want to do? I go to the record store or whatever, and we saw all these cars like already lined up waiting to get in. So I'd say if you're gonna go, if Joffrey's opening up at 10, so let's just figure 10 a.m. is probably opening. 9, 8:39, I'd probably say would be your best bet. Now, some people did ask, do you really think that CityWalk is going to be that busy? Well, on May 27th,
Disney Springs?
Disney Springs, I'm sorry, Disney Springs. On May 27th, I'd say yes, because people want their Disney merch, their Disney fix. So I can see that being busier. May 20th, I don't think it'll be that busy because it's third-party stores. So I don't see people running to be like, oh, I got to get a new pair of Levi jeans. You know what I mean? Or I got to get the new Harley Davidson t-shirt that came out. I don't see that. I don't know, though.
And it's still going to be mainly locals. Ashland's checking some of the others as well.
Okay. So,
why don't my stickers work on Messenger?
I don't
I
know.
got one from my avatar. I spent a lot of time creating that avatar. Now
She's all about this avatar. She's like, did you create an avatar? No. I don't normally do those
I
things.
created mine and it works on Facebook, but it doesn't work on Messenger. Like, that's dumb.
Yeah. So pretty much how I figured what we seen at Universal and what you guys seen if you watched the video, the last video that we did, would probably be the same exact things that we're going to see at Disney Springs. You're going to see a lot of the 6 feet markings, lines everywhere, tables for restaurants, you know, don't sit at this table or something, don't sit here or whatever.
So, like, even since we couldn't go to Cape May, we went to Buca for our anniversary yesterday. And what they did is they just removed tables.
They removed tables.
And so I saw some other, so I'm sure that might be what some restaurants are gonna do, or they're just gonna remove tables instead of putting signs that says, don't use this table.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so it'll be something like that. You know, obviously I'll say that the clickers will be there of people going in, people going out of stores.
I can never say this. Oh, it's the food truck though.
Mm-hmm.
The Rivers Cantina Barbacoa. They're gonna be open 11:30 to 10 a.m.
So I would.
Or to 10 p.m. Sorry.
So I'm still going with the 10.
10.
If Joffrey's open at 10, you got to get your morning coffee. Usually, coffee stores or coffee places are your best indicators of when things are going to be open because bright and early, got to get your coffee first thing. But like I said, I don't see a lot of people running to the Harley Davidson store. I don't see a lot of people running to Levi's, you know. That's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. I don't see people running at 10 a.m. to go to the boathouse, you know. I don't see that, but I don't know.
Would be open at 10 a.m.
I think they're probably going to open at 11. Probably lunch.
11 or 12.
11, 12 for the lunch menu. Although it will be interesting because that's our favorite restaurant is the Boathouse in all of Disney property. I want to see what the limited menu is.
Yeah, because obviously since places have been closed, like they can't afford to order everything they typically would order. And even at Buca, we were really kind of bummed with their limited menu.
The online menu, because we look.
The online limited menu was very different from the actual limited menu.
Yeah, so we were bummed about that, but that was okay. I felt so bad for the waitress, though.
Yeah, she was the only one.
She was the only one. She was the only one
because they didn't expect a whole lot of people to show up, and
so it's hard to schedule these employees because you don't know how things are going to be. So she was on a shift by herself till I think she said like 4 o'clock.
And she was just running around.
She was running, so things were a little late, you know, getting food. She kept apologizing. She was very nice. And I said, no, you're the only one here, man. Like, take your time, you know. I'm not in a rush, you know. I'll go outside, do whatever, or make some phone calls, just talk to the wife, do whatever I need to do. We were looking for face masks on Etsy, you know, during that time. Lisa ordered her Luna Lovegood mask because she loves her.
And it's her with her awesome glasses.
No, she's so happy. And you got a Mickey and Minnie one?
Yeah.
And of course,
I got one for Universal and one for Disney because I don't like to intermix the two.
And of course, for me, I only bought one. I did not buy any theme park type mask. I went with a rock and roll mask. One of my favorite bands, Kiss. So I went with a Kiss one. Gotta keep it rock and roll, you know. So that's pretty much how I see things going on. This is what's going on with Universal, a little bit more in depth of what we've seen. If you have any more questions, hit us up. And what's going on for Disney Springs. So like we said, orange and lime garage only on, that side. Or you could park at, I forget what hotel that is where you can cross the bridge.
I
I
don't think
forget.
technically you're gonna be allowed to park at the
And the
hotel.
ride share section will be open.
I don't think necessarily you're supposed to be parking at the hotel. I think
No,
that's
it's
for the
their
hotel guests.
Yeah, there's like a lot right there next to it as well that they share for guests. I don't know, and I don't do ride share. I don't know where the ride share pickup is.
I think it's by the bus drop off.
Probably that would make the most sense to me. I don't know. I don't do ride share. I never have. The Wyndham. That's it. The Wyndham. Okay. Can I remember what that hotel is? So that's how they're going to keep the limited capacity. Now, Universal, they have 2 garages. All right, that's going in because our CityWalk is obviously combined, right in the middle of their 2 parks, Studios and Islands of Adventure. So they have 2 garages. We all got put to the garage to the left.
Because we parked in Kong.
Yeah, and nope. So I was wondering they might have closed the parking garage on the right.
End of flow. Which parking garage did you park in?
Yeah, I think the garage on the right was closed off, so that's how I think they were limiting their capacity is by having the only garage open on the left side. I don't know, but I'm pretty accurate on that. I'm gonna say I'm 99% sure.
99.
Yes. But that's all the pretty much stuff that's going on. A little bit more further detail. So
they were parking every other space in the left garage. They weren't when we went.
When we went, it wasn't every other space.
Yeah,
it
they
was
parked everyone.
every space. So maybe they're tweaking things.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe it got busy on those first nights. Maybe at some time late, they were like, "Hey, we got to do something else." Maybe I don't know. So okay, that's interesting because on that day there was no every other, but now it's every other. So that's interesting.
They had cones blocking every other. Yeah, no, they didn't have that when we went.
Okay, that's different.
We were parked with cars on either side of us.
Yeah. So I wonder if Disney Springs might be like that. I could see Disney Springs doing that because, well, it's bigger. CityWalk is only like a third of Springs, so I don't know. But Springs is bigger, so you could have more, but their parking garages are bigger. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'll be there. I'll see, what's going on because I'm going to look for all those fine details as always because I love details on things. And that's all I can think of. The parking's free at CityWalk. Team members were amazing, still sanitizing everything. The restaurants we went over, some more have opened up. Little clickers for people coming in and out.
Little clickers. Can't get through to the gates to get into the park.
No, but you can walk up to the gate so you can see. It is just weird seeing how empty those were.
I probably could have squeezed through that gate at Islands of Adventure, but there was a security guard he was inside the park standing by the Islands of Adventure gift shop, so I didn't want to try.
Am I going to live stream? No, I'm not going to live stream. Generally because I don't know. I like doing vlogs more than live stream. I like being very personable in live streams.
And lately, because of this quarantine, all we've been doing have been live streams.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get away. I'm still gonna have live streams like once a week, or when the park's open, live streams will be reduced back a little bit. They'll still be happening, but am I gonna live stream that? No, I'm not gonna live stream it on opening day. But I'll be vlogging
the day of. Later that night or the
next morning. Probably the next morning, kind of like I did for Universal, or that night. I don't know, depending on when things get uploaded. I don't know. The video will be out within that day or the next morning. Guaranteed on that. And that's all I can think of. So Disney Springs, we covered all the different places that would be open, which I'll go in further detail come May 20th. We will check out the menus, see what their limiteds are, where the temperature check locations will be, and I do really think it's going to be where I just said, where the 2 cast members welcome you, or say, hey, Disney Springs this way, or whatever, there are 2 there, and then you pass them and you go right down. And that's all I can think of right now. And then, the 27th, I probably won't be there on that date because I'm sure I'll have to work, but
I think I saw Lisa going into Universal on WDW Instagram.
Probably.
I don't know, someone, what was that?
A lot of people.
That Disney food blog.
Yeah, a
or
lot of
whatever
people
saw
messaged
me
us.
getting my temperature checked.
I remember TipoftheEars, he messaged me or put on Twitter, he's like, hey, Tip of the Ears, I saw you get lasered or something like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. And most people still come back to the same question, you know, and ask us, and I'm like, I don't have a popular answer to give, and because I'm not a doctor of any sort, but, you know, with the temperature checks, people still ask, what are they doing for the asymptomatic people that have the disease but aren't showing the symptoms? I really don't know.
Wendy says,
I
was
really
it
don't
kind
know.
of weird being there with few people in masks? So the few people didn't really weird me out just because it's kind of what I expected. Parks aren't open,
The
so
masks
it's just
were
us
weird.
locals. I guess it was a little weird to like look out and not see as many people in CityWalk. It was kind of weird to see everyone in masks.
Because that's not part of our culture, so
No,
it's something
and, like,
completely different.
I mean, at my job, everyone wears masks.
Yeah.
But like when I'm outside of work, it's not like I walk into someplace and every single person's wearing a
Like-
mask. So it was a little weird.
I went to the record shop today in downtown Orlando, and you know, we brought our masks because I didn't know if some places were going to be that way. You know, that's up to them. So we always bring our masks wherever we go somewhere because we just don't know. And the store was you had to wear it. The record store said 5 people at a time. So if it was more than 5, you just had to wait outside. Masks were required and gloves were required. And if you didn't have, because we were like, oh man, I don't have gloves. But they had like, it was nice. They had like a little box there for gloves so I could dig through the vinyl and look through stuff.
So Wendy said, were you allowed to touch merchandise in stores? I didn't see any signs that said don't touch.
Because some things I touched, I you know, subconsciously just because like, oh, what's that? And I, you know, just so
Yeah.
used to doing that. I'm sure that they probably don't want you to touch something if
know
you're not going to buy, but we saw no signs and nobody.
There was no signs. The only thing was at Bubba Gump's gift shop. I went, like, I was reaching up to grab the cookbook set, which we knew we were getting, and the cashier walked over and she was like, I'll get it for you. I'd already touched it though. But when we were in the Universal shop, they didn't really have team members walking around like in the merchandise section.
Yeah.
You had your team members outside that were counting people
Your
entering and leaving,
cashiers.
and your cashiers, and maybe like a manager walking around. But I don't remember seeing one sign that said "Do not touch the
Yeah.
merchandise." So
I would say if you're,
I mean, I was trying to be conscious, but like he said, like
that's subconscious, like your normal is
yeah,
just,
like
you got to
your
break
normal
routines.
thing.
You got to learn to break certain routines that I've been doing all my life.
I ended up touching a few things,
Yeah.
and
I'm sure these places don't want you to touch anything unless you're going to buy it. But it's so hard. Like I said, our subconscious, and I'm sure yours as well, we've been doing that forever. Oh, we see something like, oh, what's that? And then we grab it and we look and we're like, oh, yeah, I don't know, maybe.
but
And
I
put
feel
it back.
like
I don't know.
now, like anytime I would like if I buy clothing or whatever, like I'm gonna be more conscious about like
Yeah.
washing stuff or sanitizing some, especially coming from like theme park areas because everyone's probably
Yeah, see, Pendaflow, he just said that he picked some stuff up
and
too
I
and was like,
oops.
it's that, you know, we have to learn as Americans, and especially going into these theme parks or wherever you go around our world, shopping centers, this and that, is to try not to do those things that we've been doing for pretty much all our life.
Oh, what's that? What's that?
Yeah.
And like, yeah,
You know, because
at the warehouse.
I go to
feel
Target
like
all the
that's gonna
time,
Be the
and
hardest thing.
I go to Target all the time and don't even think about it. And I'm like, oh, what's this shirt? You know, whatever in the guys section because I like funny shirts. And I'm like, oh, is this some sort of Dorito shirt? And it's folded and I open it up and I'm like, oh, that's funny, but you know, whatever. And then put it back and not even thinking in my conscience like, hey, you probably shouldn't do that. You know, some people might get weirded out. It's just that thing. It's old habits are hard to break. You know, are training a dog a new trick or an old dog new
Wendy
trick?
asked, when will the outlets open?
Don't know.
The outlets technically are open.
Outlets are open.
It's the warehouse that isn't open.
Warehouse possibly the
We're
27th.
thinking the 27th, but there's no announcement.
No, but I'm thinking 27th because if World of Disney and those Disney stores are opening, maybe.
She said, do you think they will be extra full of stuff, like the flower garden stuff?
I don't know.
I don't know. I anticipate definitely getting a huge thing of Flower Garden merch, whether it's when it first opens or, you know, within the first few weeks, only because Flower Garden Festival ends the end of the month and Disney's not going to be open before
You know what?
the end of the month.
You know,
And so, and most, the parks closed for the majority of the festival time period. Like, it's not like we had even gotten halfway through that festival. So, yeah, there's a lot of merchandise that they didn't get to sell.
you know what I
So-
could see though at the same time when I bet you any money, I'm gonna bet it right now. A man's bet, a manly bet, $1. I bet you $1, a gentleman's bet, that let's say the Disney Character Warehouse opens the 27th, they have no new merchandise, and they're gonna try to sell off for the first week at least what they have in the store now. Just to try to get rid of that inventory. I bet you. I could be wrong.
Topiaries are still up at Epcot.
Yeah,
Flower
all the
Garden continues once they open the parks. Really?
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird if Flower and Garden's going to continue with the parks.
Hypothetical.
Oh, I was about to say. I don't think Flower and Garden. I think this is my opinion on Flower and Garden. My opinion. I don't think any of the activities of Flower and Garden will be going on. However, I think they will still maybe have the flowers out that you can see and look at.
I don't think they're gonna have the performers. I mean,
I don't think the butterfly garden's gonna be there.
Universal made it very clear that the rest of Mardi Gras was canceled. That it wasn't getting rescheduled.
Because they were discounting all the merchandise.
Yeah.
We actually almost bought like something. Bless you. Almost bought some stuff just because they had a like 20% off, like a $35 t-shirt they were selling for like $20 just to get rid of it, you know, something like that from the Mardi Gras merch. So I think like World of Disney will still have it.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
According to Google, for Disney Springs, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday closed. Wednesday and Thursday, it's 10 a.m. to 12 a.m.
Okay.
And then it says Friday, Saturday closed.
Oh. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to look more into that. That's interesting. What are they going to open like 3 days a week?
No, that's 2 days a week.
2 days a week, 3 days a week? I don't know.
She's typing.
I don't know.
I like how I'm like, you got to keep up with the comments on there. I'm getting Facebook messages.
You're getting Facebook messages. Okay. So
Friday,
yeah.
Saturday might be unknown.
So somebody is messaging us right now that is looking up.
Mrs. Pendaflow.
Yeah. Aerial footage shows topiaries are still in place. Yeah. All the topiaries are still in place. I've seen that on Instagram from Josh Diamaro's Instagram. You know, president of Walt Disney World. He's been showing the topiaries. He's been hanging out in Epcot, actually all the different parks. And yes, the topiaries are still out. The flowers are still out. I just don't think the events are going to be going on, nor do I think like the food booths will be up for Flower and Garden. I don't think the Butterfly Garden will be up as well, but I think all the topiaries and all of the beautiful flowers that you see will still be up before they take them away. I can see them running that because they put all that time into it. They probably want to show people this. I don't know. Yeah, I think the decor stays, but the booths, no. I don't think they will be up. So somebody's messaging us about how Disney Springs may only be open 2 or 3 days a week.
No, she thinks that it's just that Friday and Saturday are unknown at this point.
Well, I don't know. I seriously think come Monday, tomorrow, we should all get that email, or you should see on social media, I'd say about the 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Disney likes to run things, emails, in the late afternoon.
According to Google, though, on Wednesday and Thursday, it'll be open from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m.
Yes. And I would say 10 a.m. perfect because that's, you know, Joffrey's saying, hey, we're going to be open at 10 a.m. Okay, 10 a.m. I think that's what it'd be. So that's...
Disney Springs really doesn't need to open any earlier than that. I don't think they usually did open any earlier than that, even before all this.
9 o'clock. I think they did. I never rope dropped Disney Springs, so I think it was 9 a.m. I'm not sure.
Someone said they're opening all weekend. They wouldn't open Wednesday and close Friday, Saturday. That's what I'm thinking.
The weekend, I don't know.
I don't think they would close the weekend. What was the point of opening up then?
Yeah, I would have said then you should, if you were going to do that,
Then just don't
open till on Monday. You know, that following Monday or something like that. That's what I would do. If they're worried about the weekend crowds, I would have said, well, then open.
See,
whatever.
I was right. You said 9. Ashlyn said she always rope dropped Disney Springs, and it's 10.
I never rope dropped Disney Springs. Never. For me, what's the point of rope dropping there?
Because we were always rope dropping the warehouse.
I mean, I think I went to Disney Springs early once, but I think that was about 11 a.m. when I was looking for all the Baby Yoda merchandise that was getting sold out. And I was like, I gotta find this stuff. But that was about it. But I will be there on the 20th, since apparently I'm off work. I couldn't get any word. I couldn't get into World of Disney at Christmas till 10 a.m. Okay, so 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Okay, so they're still following the same rule, 10 a.m. But that's all we know as of right now. We'll keep you more up to date of what's going on if we find out any more news. Until then...
New Baby Yoda merch at World of Disney on the 27th.
Nice. Baby Yoda will sell anything.
Baby Yoda will sell.
And it'll sell fast, as we know this. I mean, when Disney released the Baby Yoda face mask on Shop Disney,
Gone.
It was gone right away. And that just proves that Baby Yoda can sell anything, or you put Baby Yoda's face on anything, it'll sell.
Because Baby Yoda.
Because Baby Yoda. We love them. And those are facts. Exactly. Put Baby Yoda's face on anything, sell out. Doesn't matter. That is the best thing that Disney is going to do for business. You want to make back some of your money? Put Baby Yoda's face on everything. People will buy it up.
Baby Yoda popcorn bucket.
Yeah. You'll make some of your money back.
Oh, that would be the
You lost
most
some money.
awesome popcorn bucket ever, would be Baby Yoda and his little carrier.
That would be cool. His little carrier. Yeah.
Would I get money if they actually decide to do that?
Or
I need to get
if it's Baby Yoda holding his little bone broth soup, but you put the popcorn in the cup.
Sipping his tea.
Yeah. You just put it in his cup. Those are good ideas. Disney, don't take my ideas.
Or if you are, pay me.
Pay me. I only want, because you make a lot of money, I'll take 3%. My son got me the doll for
Mother's Day best gift ever.
See, exactly. Right? I would be excited to get a Baby Yoda, anything.
My mom would be excited about that.
Your mom doesn't like that stuff. Yes, popcorn bucket. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Come on. Disney's going to recoup the money. And how's the best way to recoup the money?
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. That's at least what I would do. As a joking way, and then I do it just to see, and I'm sure it would sell, and I'd be like, you know what? Baby Yoda's going to save this company. It's going to make us break even.
It's no longer about the mouse.
Yeah, it's not about the mouse.
Mickey ain't saving us.
That's right.
Baby Yoda.
They'll put a new statue up. It won't be Walt and Mickey, though. It'll be Walt with Baby Yoda and his little carrier.
It'll be Iger and Baby Yoda.
Yeah, or something stupid like that. The Lex Luthor, as I like to call Iger. Lex Luthor.
It's better than Chapek.
Yeah, Chapek's the worst. Iger's okay. I don't actually have the hugest problem of Iger. It's Chapek's the problem, but we'll see. We'll see. And that's all I have for you guys because I feel like we're just going to keep going full circle. So if any more information comes up, I will post them on our Facebook group, Twitter, Instagram, things like that. Other than that, you can bet to look for a video of Disney Spring opening that day or the next day because I apparently will be there. I don't know. We will see you next time. See, great to close that stream. That Chapek's the worst.
Chapek's the worst.
That's right. Have a good night. Facts. Chapek's the worst. Lex Luthor, as I call him.
Vlog.
Vlog. Finito.